Do you often find yourself chasing success? Do you see a successful person and think, oh, I wish I could be like that, or like him, or like her? Right. So today we've got a quotation from Albert Einstein. And it goes like this: strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. What does that speak to you?
I think the typical success we often hear or learn from society since young often revolves around personal achievements or personal goals, which
Mm.
can sometimes be self-centered, right? We often, when we reach the level of success that we thought would make us happy, and then realize it is not what we expected, and then discover that the accolades, the achievements, and all the milestone we pursued really didn't bring us fulfillment and all the happiness that we anticipated. And if we don't stop and reflect, we start to chase something invisible. So constantly striving for the next goal in hopes that that next goal will finally bring us the contentment we are looking for. I think in that kind of relentless pursuit, we repress our emotions and needs. We convince ourselves that our happiness lies in the future accomplishments, and often leads to abandoning ourselves, our true selves, and neglecting the aspects of our lives that brings genuine joy and connection, not just for other people, but within ourselves, right? Because we end up feeling disconnected from our authentic desires and values. And then we are trapped into this cycle of perpetual striving without true satisfaction. And in my experience, this is true for me because I was in corporate world for 18 years and I thought I was going to be in the top of my game. And when I reached that space, I realized this is not what I had thought how this would feel. And it's because I was chasing my tail, and thinking that, you know, if I work too hard, if I have enough money, if I have the house, if I have the car, if I have all of this stuff, it's going to make my life fulfilled, and I'm going to be happy. But it was such a disappointment to realize that all the external stuff, the success that I had thought would give me the joy and the fulfillment, it wasn't really it. And so when I decided to reflect on my life and look at what it is really that I want for my life, for myself, and started to define what is joy and what is happiness really means, and what is success, I think we have to define what our measure of success, right? So with this quote, like being of value, I think it implies really contributing to the positive lives of others and the world around us. So when we prioritize being of value, we naturally strive to make meaningful impacts, solve problems, and improve situation for others and ourselves. So we don't get into that victim mode. So I think that this mindset not only foster deeper connections and fulfillment, but also tends to lead a long-term success, because it aligns with your values, and it creates this positive ripple effect within your life and then your outside world. So that's my take. How about you, Natasha?
Yeah, yeah. Um, the quote itself, success, what you're saying is success is outwards, whereas value builds you inwards. When you see success, we measure it from outside when we see someone. And what people see is success as in good career, wealth, a good car, house, and the position that you're in. That's measured as success, but that's also external. What Einstein is saying is build your internal world, which is value from inside, how you live your life on day-to-day basis, whether you're at work doing what you do or at home. That's when you feel the real success, that I am empowered. I'm successful in my family. I am successful in my work life. But you know what? I see that these days often, especially, I don't know whether it's younger generation or if it's overall, because social media um, shows all these fancy stuff, and people do get lured into it, and especially the younger generation, they see what others do, and they want to imitate that and copy that because to them that looks like success because they look happy. So that must be success. What's your advice for someone who always tends to look outward? How they can make little shifts to look inward and build their values?
I think that when we start to invest some time to know ourselves at the core, we start to connect the values that we have, the core values that we have, so that when we see other people who have or it looks like they have it better than us, that we don't get derailed from who we are, because as we know, social media, you only see 1% of that reality. And you see a perfect picture, but that probably took like 100 shots and then they post the one perfect one. And you see the really good smile and the really good everything, but you don't know.
Holiday.
You're right, the perfect holiday, but you don't know what goes on in that behind the scene. So I think that if we know our core values, we can align our actions and behaviors and decisions, and start to integrate the things that really fulfill your life, and not have to compare yourself with to other people, because you know who you are, and that we know that the external accolades and external successes, often of course it helps to boost your self-esteem, but it shouldn't be the be all and end all of a measure of success. Right. Some people's success might not fit in the person that you are. The success of other people might gives you the most suffering. So I think we have to know what it is that makes us happy, what it is that makes our life fulfilling for us, so that when we see other people who has a lot more than we do, we can be inspired by them and share that joy and say, oh my God, good for them for having that or living the lives that they want. But I'm okay here. I'm living my own life in the way that is directed from my core, my heart, and I'm okay, right? So I think that when we start to know and invest time in understanding who we are and accepting parts of ourselves, it starts from within. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's not about despising. Sometimes we could just go anti
Mm,
and say, oh no, that's not right. Cars not nice, or like holidays, and because I don't want to chase success because that's not for me. But that's not really the meaning of success. It's how we see it. So if you build your values from within, your personal values, you measure your success according to your values.
mhm.
What do you value? Do you value your family? If you're happy spending time with your family, that's success for you. If you value spending time with your friends, but they don't have nice, fancy cars, or they don't have, beautiful branded clothing, but just being with them, that's what you value. And that makes you successful.
Yeah, 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 beautifully said. I think it's not just about hitting goals or, yeah, like those getting accolades. I think it's about creating real value in your life and the lives of others. Because as human being, our innate need is to belong, right? And when you align your strength, your passion, your values, and make a positive impact, you're going to find deeper fulfillment and attract opportunities that really resonate with your true self, and you can celebrate others who are doing the same, and seeing their path, walk their own path, and that you realize that you're also walking your own path, and that success,
Mhm.
your success may be different from other people. So beautifully said. Yeah.
Yeah. And even at workplace, right? For some people, when they are running a business, they might see that making the most profit in the business is probably success because that's what we see outward. But
Yeah.
for some people who believe in building the value, the pillars of their business, having that trustworthy employees, having the people who really care for your business and give their all for your business, and you are there for them when they need you, that could be success for some businessman
Mhm.
or businesswoman,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
absolutely. It's a compassionate leadership, right? Because now it's not just about you. So when you realize that this company or this business that you're creating is to create positive impact for the world around you, and that includes, your employees and people that is connected in your business, you create harmony within all aspects of your um, department, right, in your business. And instead of chasing external success, we look at integrating everyone's effort and recognizing their value as well. So I think that's really important. And through that, you create a happy space for people who come to work. And um, when people are coming to work happy, they love what they do, and they will give 110% of their effort, because now they're starting to care. Now they care for the company that they work for, and now it feels like they belong here. And oftentimes when we feel like we belong in a certain place, we protect it, right? And so
Mhm.
it becomes a collective success rather than, you know, working for a company who wants to take from you. So instead, it's more about give and take. And that's quite a beautiful way of looking at a company's successes. Yeah. And
Yeah,
leadership, right?
correct. Yeah, yeah. And there's a quote, I don't know who this quote is from. So this is a quote within a quote, but it says, if you want to go far, oh, sorry, if you want to go fast, walk alone.
Mm.
If you want to go far, walk with other people,
Yeah.
work
Yeah.
together, something along those lines. And that makes sense because now this is about value because you're going far if you are really focusing on values. But let's maybe break it down a bit for people who may be new to understanding what values are. What are values?
Yeah, I mean, values are, well, there's a there's difference between values and core values, right? Values is something that are important to you in everyday life that you partake in, activities and desires and the things that are important for you. And this could be something like honesty or integrity or family, um, community. But when we talk about core values, these are the pillars that makes you who you are. These are the pillars that is unshakable. It defines who you are, and that no matter what happens in the world around you, you remain to know who you are. These are the root of what makes you you. So I think when we start to think about the differences of values and core values, it helps us navigate what is really truly important for us and what it is that can change. Like values can change as you grow as a person, because it
Yeah.
changes in a way of, okay, that's, you know, yesterday that's important for me, but I feel like that is no longer something that I would like to continue practicing, right? So it changes. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I agree. There are personal values and core values. So you can almost see it like core value is at the core. So
Mm.
that's you. But around that, then there are personal values. So you can pick and choose what value you want to live by every single day. But the core value, they will help you when you need direction, when you need to make a big decision. And that's like your compass, because that will guide you and lead you. Whereas everything else you build around it, your personal values, you can pick and choose. And that could be your core value, or you could be choosing a societal value, what other people value, and you like it. You think, oh, I really like the honesty part. You can pick and choose. So again, you pick what the society has to offer as well. We don't just shut everyone out. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like that. This is me. But that's how I see it. But I think people could mistake their belief with values.
It's true that sometimes people can mix up values and beliefs. But the thing is, values is supported by your beliefs, right? The reason why values is present in our lives is because we know that that is important for us. So why is that important for us? It's because I believe that these are. So it is the belief that we have about the things that are important for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. And
it's
knowing the
good.
difference sometimes, because belief could sometimes be limiting you as well, whereas values,
Yeah.
they won't limit you. Values is something that you live by, whereas belief is something that you believe to be true.
Mm. Yeah.
So yeah, that is so that it is tricky sometimes, because we can believe go either way. But
Yeah.
yeah, so
Well,
strive
there
your
are two
values.
things, right? There are two things, like limiting beliefs and supportive beliefs, right? So again, there's two different things. Like there's, if we talk about polarities, there's always the one end of the spectrum and then the other one on the spectrum. So there's a limiting beliefs that limits you, right? And then there is one that is supportive of helping you move forward. And I think that when we create understanding and harmony within, this is where the parts of us starts to create percolate, is that who am I over here and who am I on this end of the spectrum. And I think that if we create harmony and understanding within those different parts of ourselves, instead of chasing external meaning or success, I think we look at healing like parts of ourselves and embracing our courage while addressing the fears and our vulnerabilities, right? And this not only help us become more authentic and free, but also it helps us become more empathetic and builds our resilience and connect with ourselves and others, which leads to more meaningful and impactful life. Because when we think about those limiting beliefs and the supportive beliefs, these are all parts of us. And if we have the courage to look at them as, this is part of how I navigate life. I do have limiting beliefs, and I do have beliefs that are positive. And how can I understand both of them so that I can make a decision that is in alignment of who I am at the core? And there's no bad or good. There just is. And the reality is, we have all of those parts in our lives, in ourselves. And if we create the space for them, the harmony that we create is far more meaningful and impactful in the way we relate with ourselves. Yeah. Yeah.
That's our quote for today, and we'll come back with some more. But it was lovely talking about Einstein and his quote.
Yeah.
Well, not about Einstein, but his quote.
The quote, yeah. I think, so, whether you're working on your personal development, finding life meaning, your purpose, healing your inner self, or practicing even mindfulness, I think prioritizing on being of value, just instead of just chasing success, whatever that means, I think that you will uncover your true worth, and you will deepen your connection, and you can lead your lives filled with purpose and fulfillment. So I think those are the things that we need to think about when we look at sustainable joy and happiness.
Yeah, I agree. So everyone, live a valueful life and success will follow. We'll see you
Beautiful.
soon.
Bye.
Bye.